identify as jacked, handsome, and wonderful and successful. Those are my preferred adjectives, right?
For the victory lap though. Whoa, whoa. They ain't never seen nothing like this before. Lit the room when I came through the front door. Ask me if I stress overcome, what for? Train in the trees, please pardon my sycamore. Touch burning sands, cross lands and stormy shore seasons in the year, yeah. Ain't no challenge for champions and chain no fear. Yup, the champ is here. Switch gears, we keeping hitters in the rear.
So, this one I know is gonna be a little bit of a, sore subject, right?
This will be
actually
interesting.
so this is actually from a video, a YouTube channel that's been under a lot of scrutiny lately. Just pearly things, right? So this is I guess you can still call it red pill, I guess.
Let me tell you something. You setting this up. Let me say something. I like her content, but I hate the comment section of her content. I hate it.
So you know me, I'm not real big in the comments. Like I just because it's just
there's like a good chunk of dudes who be like, no, let me tell you something. No, she is not my type. So if I'm about to say it's wrong, it's wrong. The dudes really be like gassing her up, and I'm like, yo, she's not that cute, bro. Like she's okay. I don't mind her content, but to sit here and act like she's fire is just complete bullshit.
She's
come on, like you know.
So but then again, my big thing is like just because she's not. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it going. Yeah, she's not my type. But the same thing can be said about me. Like you know what I'm saying? Like maybe she don't like big dark skin black guys. You know what I mean? So it's like.
I guess what I'm is let me be a little more.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. It just be black dudes on there just be gassing up white chicks. I hate that shit. I cannot stand it. Man. And you know it because it's just like. Because my thing is right, so they'll be gassing her up and then trying to say the girls on the podcast aren't cute, and I'm like, yo, some of them girls on the podcast are cute. Now you may not like what's come out of their mouth, but don't be capping like they're not attractive. So like, come on, man.
But yeah, so this is more like red pill kind of YouTube podcast from honestly like more like a women's perspective who seems like more like pro men in general. So
yeah. Shot in the UK as well.
Yeah. But yeah, so this one is I will not partake in your delusion, and you already know what this is about. Pretty much, just talking about the trans, debate, and like where we draw the line on as like society and everything, like as far as us partaking. Dave Chappelle, he's talked about it before, like so that's pretty much what it is.
As jacked, handsome. I identify as jacked, handsome, and wonderful and successful. Those are my preferred adjectives, right? You'll hurt my feelings if you don't refer to me as jacked, handsome, intelligent, charming, and so on. I don't have. You have a right to freedom of speech. I don't have a right to control your language. That's not how it works. There's no right to not have your feelings hurt. There's no right to control other people's language. The right is on the other side. Yes. So yes, people should be polite and kind and civil within reason. But actually, if you are now trying to control someone else's language and force them to call you something, especially something that you are not, you don't have a right to do that at all. At all. That's not a right.
If I turned around and I said to you, from today, I'm going to be a virgin. Right? Yeah.
Hey, there are some of those. The born again.
I'm going to be a virgin now. Yeah. And everybody has to identify me as a virgin. And don't worry about the 3 grandchildren and my 36-year-old son. I'm going to be a virgin. And I'm not going to, and anybody else who says to me that I'm not a virgin, I'm going to sue them.
There was a time when I barely knew how to turn on a computer. Now I'm a cybersecurity specialist.
ECPI.
I'm going to go to the newspapers and I'm going to be up in arms because I am now identifying as a virgin. And I said to you, you have to see me as a virgin. Would you feel happy about that?
But I think we keep creating examples that are not very relative to this conversation. obviously being a virgin, that is a very objective thing. Someone identifying as a man or woman, we've not been able to identify. We've not been able to explain what a man and a woman. If there was.
Everyone else has.
Well, you guys have, because you have one way of thinking and you've decided.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, honestly?
Yeah?
When did you start believing what you're saying now?
When I started listening to people, because it's not about
no, honestly,
when?
When specifically did you start?
I would
believing
say, to be fair, I've always grown up with that belief of let people be whatever they want to believe. And let me explain.
Okay.
I'm a minority, right? Being black in the UK, especially, I know how hard it is when the majority think that you are in the wrong. And maybe that is that compassion that I have for them, because we are the majority. We have the privilege.
I'm gonna say this real quick because that should be really hurting our souls. Everybody's struggle is different. Okay, let's make that very fucking clear. All right, if you black, your black struggle is different than the Jewish struggle. If you're Jewish, your Jewish struggle is different from Hispanic struggle. I'm never gonna compare, right, apples to oranges. Make no mistake, it is different. Okay, so I think that's a big difference, right? When people try to use this specific situation and example when they talk about black people being minorities in the UK and the US, and try to compare it to like trans or like don't ever fucking do that again. I said, because make no motherfucking mistake. If black people could have hid the fact that they were black so that way they weren't getting raped or lynched, right? They would have. So let's make that very clear. So whenever people say shit like this, I'm like, there's like 500 slaves right now turning in their grave right now because of that stupid shit you just said. Like, I really don't like when people say that, bro. Like, fuck out of here.
Because we were born as our gender, so we have the privilege to say, no, that's how you.
Everyone was born as their gender.
No. The gender that we identify as. But my point is that we are the privileged to be able to say that is our identity. However, some people don't have that. And I feel like being a minority and knowing what it feels like for somebody to be like, no, you're less than, or no, that's wait, let me finish.
Okay, so you can.
Someone saying that's the way it should be. No, I have a problem with that because, well, no, if I was on the other foot and I was born as a man and I want to identify as a woman, I would be pissed off if somebody told me that I can't be what I want to be.
Nobody's saying that.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that.
But you are, because if I go into...
I'm not saying. I'm saying you are not you are objectively not that thing. If you were sitting here telling me that you are white, right? I'll be like, you're not white. You can say that you are. You can feel like it. You can act like it. Whatever that means. You could even go and bleach your skin. You could do whatever you like. You have the right to do that. Yeah. You're an adult. You have the right to do whatever you want. You can have cosmetic procedures. You can do what you like. But you are not white. Objectively, you're not. Right? That's the thing. You know, identifying thing. It opens up an entire Pandora's box of anything, because you can identify as anything, right? So, and as I said, I support someone's right to live their life as they want to. I'm not going to treat. I know more just because I know so many people. Period. I know more trans. Most people don't know any transgender people. I know multiple transgender people, right? And I will treat any human being with respect and dignity and civility. What I will not do is distort the truth and lie to make someone feel happy, and you don't need to do that, right? You can respect people and be kind and be honest and also protect the truth.
But is it the truth though? That's what I'm trying to say. Because how do you? We humans are so complex.
But see, I agree with you.
So
but this
what
is
they're living is not the truth.
No. No,
in reality, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's very hypocritical to say.
No, it's not. It's not hypocritical. The reason I ask why I'm assuming you only started believing what you're saying quite recently.
I personally, I've never I don't know when I started believing it. I think I've always just grown up with, like I said, be whatever. As long as you're not hurting anybody.
When you were 15, okay.
I don't think I ever thought about it.
Okay.
I guess the conversation is coming up a lot more.
Of course.
And I decided I'm not going to tell someone how they feel. I'm not going to do that because who am I to tell you that you're not a woman?
Wait, the same person.
I think we should explore a few solutions.
Grammarly suggestions.
You are to say that this table is not circular and yellow.
That's objective. We humans can't be objective in everything that we do. We can't be objective. We're too complex.
Can I just say, right? You was bringing up about being black and how you're used to people. You know, you're raised being black and being downtrodden, so you understand how they feel. You didn't choose to be black. That's the way you are. They're choosing to change their sex.
That's not what they believe, though.
I don't care whether they believe. I can believe that I'm white.
The self-identity thing does not work. It doesn't work.
There's so many different things. Oh, and then you can turn around and say that I can say that I'm white. I'm speaking like this. What am I going to get called coconut? But nothing's going to change.
What about height? I mean, some men are 5'4" and they'd much rather be 6'4". Can a man identify as 6'4"? He could genuinely feel. He could be very confident, and I feel like I'm in the wrong body. I'm 6'4", but you are objectively not 6'4". You can feel like that.
That can be judged by like the way you look. We can actually measure you. You don't look 6'4".
Okay, but
we can take a cell from any part of a woman's body and look at it under a microscope, and you can see XX chromosome. That's a woman. Absolutely.
That's the side.
But that gender person don't look like a woman.
Are you questioning? Are you questioning that it's not chromosome?
No. I'm not saying that it's. I just think that's a factor as a woman. I think some people, you can be a man. You can have the XX chromosome, and guess what? You could grow up being more masculine than anyone.
But that doesn't make you a man.
You can be a masculine woman.
But you don't want to be a feminine woman. Man. Just because you have your XY chromosome,
I don't want to be broke, but sometimes I am.
hey, we pretty good here.
God could create you that way. Just because you didn't have the XY chromosome, just because you can't reproduce, doesn't.
Okay, can I ask a question? Why would it be important to that person for me to believe and so-called affirm their delusion?
Validation. A delusion. Because you keep calling it a delusion. That's the problem.
If I came in here and
if you actually change the way you talk about it.
Look, let's be real. If I said that I was 6'5", right? If I said I am 6'5", okay, and I insist on it, and I get triggered, I get mad. I'm trying to get everyone to say I am 6'5", right? Is that a delusion?
Yeah, but
is that me being reasonable? Am I being the reasonable one by trying to force everyone to accommodate that? Is that me being reasonable? Are they being unreasonable by saying no, you're not?
No, but you can measure that.
You can tell very easily if someone is male or female with 100% accuracy.
If I identify as you're 20.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. That was so funny.
I'm gonna let you go first on that one.
I don't understand why she couldn't. I don't understand. Let me phrase that. She understands. She's just trying to be combative. Yeah. What I don't understand is once he said the race thing, I was just like,
that should have been.
That's it. Well, first off, the conversation is dumb anyways, but you can identify as being white. No one's gonna believe me. And then get down to the chromosomes. I'm like, it can be measured. It is measured. And to his point, you can be 100. You can be 100% accurate if you can look at any given man or woman and know what they are. And it's just to his point. Why would you give in on the delusion? It's just, and what I don't get this too is why is she what does she have to lose in defending that argument?
You want to know what, honestly?
Yeah, what does she have to? Because I would never defend something like that.
So he kept asking, when did you? And I noticed why. I know exactly where he was going. He kept asking. He said, when did you start believing this, right? And I'm going to say this as non-politely as possible. Most people are sheep, okay? Most people really are. They're sheep. They believe whatever is the common truth. Whatever it is, that's what they. Oh, I learned this once when I was fucking 12. Right, even though everybody else has been disproven against this, right? I don't care. This is what I learned, right? People don't tend to go against the status quo, right? So in recent years, we all know it's definitely been pushing a narrative and an agenda, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, right? So that's what she believes, mind you, right? If you trans, I could care less. I really don't care, right? Now, like just like he's saying, I also know what I believe, and no commercial, Disney Plus, whatever, nothing's gonna change what I believe. That's the thing. Now, I think especially when it comes to young people in general, right? And scientists have even narrowed it down to like 25 years old is when your brain is completely fully formed. Like that's why people who between like the ages of like 16 to like 22 are so like volatile, right? They make like snap judgments like that. They don't think straight. You know what I mean? Because their brain isn't fully formed yet. That's like the biggest thing. And they're also a lot more susceptible, which is exactly what the military, right, usually tries to recruit straight out of high school because they're easier, they're a lot more malleable, right? They're easier to get to conform. It's just a fact. Like, it just is what it is. So she looked young. I would have given her 22, maybe 23 at the oldest, right? So she is younger, right? She's been growing up for the last 2 years and like coming into adulthood, right? Where everybody's pushing this narrative and this gender, right? And on the surface, it is almost like a performative type of like social justice, right? Where you're like fighting for these rights and fighting for these things and everything like that, right? So to her, honestly, I'm guessing it almost feels like it makes her feel better because she feels like she's on the right side of things for people who are, marginalized, right? In general. So that's the reason why she's holding on to it. Even though it's not backed by any type of reality, right? Like no type of science, nothing. Like whatsoever. She's going based off of how she feels in this moment because she knows that it makes her feel good to be on what she considers the right side of things and not necessarily what's the truth. That's the difference, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I've heard it. I've heard every single argument. I've talked to so many people who were not necessarily trans, but who like were very big in like the trans community and stuff like that. I've heard everything. And guess what? It still don't make no sense to me, bro. It just is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? It's not gonna change anything for me.
Like I get what you're saying. I guess where I'm confused is like what benefit, because like to me, like the trans community is so small. Is there someone who's like a cis male, cis woman? Like, what is the benefit of for you to even?
It makes them feel better. I'm telling you right now, it makes them feel better. I'm telling you, people think I'm joking, right? Like people go for instant gratification or for everything else, right? That's why people who know that they don't make a lot of money will drink all the time, right? Because it's that instant gratification. Right now, it makes them feel better, right? To take up arms for this, asinine cause, in my opinion. Right? If you want to say, hey, don't beat up trans people, cool, got it. Want to say don't beat up gay people, cool, got it, right? But free speech is free speech. Like I can say whatever the hell I want to say, right? It is. It's like I can say whatever it is that I want to say. And since the dawn of time, there was a system of checks and balances, right? You want to know what that system of checks and balances was? These. Right here. Everybody thinks I'm trying to be funny. And that's why, like, no offense, when I see women like that are very combative at times like that, right? Like, when I hear them say stuff, those would be the first ones to pop off from the man, too. They're like, I wish he would, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, if he does, what the fuck are you going to do? Like, I'm just saying, right? But they emulate that behavior because they see men do it. And the difference is that when a man does it, he knows that there's a good chance that he can get punched in the face, right? And men know that. Every grown man knows that if he says something out of his mouth, right, there's always a bit of physical violence there. So he can't just pop off to anybody, like he may want to, right? Because, he might get knocked the hell out. So for her, right, seeing all this stuff right now, I'm telling you right now, it makes her feel good. It makes her feel good. It makes her feel like she's right. And, yeah, you know what I mean? Social justice and all this, stupid stuff. I mean, in reality, like the fact that we even have this conversation should tell you, like how good we have it as a first world society in America. Like, they're not having this conversation in the Philippines. You know what I'm saying?